Woo! On fire. Don't worry, we'll have more civilized conversation. Hey, so you're running behind on your payments and you get a phone call, $2,500, and they're offering to help you navigate foreclosure. A lot of people are tempted by this because they're afraid. They're in a bad situation. But do you trust these companies that claim to have all the answers for all your mortgage problems? Let's talk about this because a lot of people are having housing problems out there. I want to welcome to the Diamond District Rand Mortgage Sales Director, Drew Kessler. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, so let's talk about this. You know, we have been talking about this on the show. A lot of these mortgage modification, foreclosure scams, they're still out there, and it seems like they're getting worse.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the people who, in a way, got us into this mess, the people who gave, applicants the subprime mortgages are coming back out of the woodwork to now offer them the solution to get out. We're in a situation right now where people who are getting the phone calls to be offered to say, give me $1,000, give me $2,000, and I'll help you along the way, are the people who have no business paying that kind of money because they're in that kind of default. Persistence really is the message of today as far as getting these people to call their servicers directly and go through the process.
The banks, have they hired more people to deal with this problem? Because that's, when we talk to the people who are facing foreclosure problems, They're saying, like, look, I'm calling the bank, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm telling them I'm in trouble and I'm getting nowhere.
Well, it's an epidemic. I mean, what we have right now is you have a situation where nobody really saw this as far as the government programs are going to be rolled out. None of the companies, none of the servicing companies have the people on staff to handle the volume of calls. We're talking millions and millions of people calling every day. The good news, the hope, is that this program is here until 2012. So if
Hope Now Alliance?
Correct, or the modification program that the government is putting out there.
Right.
So if you can hold out, if you can be persistent, if you can call every day, whatever you need to do, the thing is to take copious notes, make sure you know who you're calling, write their names down, every day and get on the line, and you have to be persistent and persevere through. Ultimately, if you fit the guidelines and you can take a modification,
right,
the banks are going to give it to you.
And Drew, folks, there's go to the website www.hud.gov. So it's the Housing and Urban Development, and they have listed their free agencies.
Correct. Yes. What
will help you.
What we're looking for is the non-for-profit agencies. We're looking for the people that you don't have to lay out a dollar to help you, to guide you through it, to give you the answers that can hopefully help you get through this tough time and get you the modification that you need.
You deal with this, the housing, real estate, loans. How is it looking out there? Are we getting any closer to overcoming this housing crisis?
To me, this is the perfect time. I call it the perfect storm. You're going to look at, back in history, if we're going to talk 10, 20 years from now, if you're going to ever look at a point in time where you have two things coming about, and that's why I call it the perfect storm, rates are low. You're not going to see historical rates even lower than this. If you go back to, trackable record, we go to the early 70s where it's starting to be tracked.
Right.
Rates aren't ever lower than 5%, and we're now in an environment where you can, for the most part, borrow
4.5%.
Yeah,
I'm refinancing for 4.5%.
4.75. You're at all-time record lows, so you're borrowing money very cheap. Then on the other side, you have the sales, and you're looking at a situation right now where a lot of times the seller you're actually dealing with are banks. They're dealing with such volume on their books right now, on their pipeline of houses that they're sitting with that they have no interest in sitting with. They don't want to keep this inventory.
No, I know,
so they have to sell.
That people out there got really good deals on homes. People are still waiting on the sidelines because they think prices are going to fall more or rates are going to fall more.
Those are the people, unfortunately, that are going to miss the boat. Again, we're going to talk about remember when. And the positive stories, remember when I bought that house very cheap and I got that low interest rate.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I missed it. Like any great stock, you hear about it and then, 6 months later, it's already hit the board.
So you're the mortgage broker there. You deal with all the banks trying to find your customer the best deal out there.
Sure.
Are the banks lending, or do I have to have over 750 credit? I have to be at my job for 5 years, put 30% down. Are they giving loans?
It's a misnomer right now. They are giving loans. The money is out there. Now, the difference from today to it was 3-4 years ago is you don't just get to sign, an application and you get a mortgage. Now you have to be, again, a little more savvy to what's being looked for. You could still do loans up to 97%. So you could have a situation where you save 3%, and you're able to buy a home. You have to document your income these days. The days of, again, just signing your name to an application.
Which is to the benefit of everyone.
Without question. This is going to get us solvent for years to come. So now's the time where if you put your ducks in a row, if it's a credit issue and you spend some time, you work on your credit, you will be able to buy 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the road. But again, we talk about perseverance on the modification side. Same thing with buying a home.
Are banks out there still doing no doc loans?
No, unfortunately, that product has dried up.
No, fortunately,
fortunately, yes. But it's unfortunate because you do have people who actually truly deserve loans that can't document
if they own their own business,
well, self-employed,
it's
a tough thing.
Absolutely.
But all in all, we're trying to protect ourselves for the future so that we don't get into this mess again.
Drew Kessler, RAN Mortgage Sales Director. Where's your office?
Actually, in the Hudson Valley. I'm located in Rockland County, right outside of New York City.
All right, fantastic. Come back to Happy Hour.
I will. Thank you for having me.